Let's work on the author first. In post detail, I'm outputting the author, and now I actually want to wrap the name itself into an anchor tag so that it's clickable. And there I want to point at the author email address. I want to open up the email client of the visitor and prepare an email to the author. Now in our model, in our author model, we do have that email address field for the author. So the question now is what we need to do in our view here, in our template. And the answer is rather simple. We can open the email client of the visitor with the mail to instruction. That is standard HTML, has nothing to do with Django or anything like that. With mail to colon, you can, for example, make sure that the mail client is opened and test@test.com is pre-filled as a receiver, as a recipient of that email. So with that, if I now save that template and we reload, this is now a link. We can work on the styling in a second. It is a link now. And if I click it on a second screen for me, but still it opened up this email client. And the same should be true for you. So let me briefly work on the styling here. For this, we got our static files. And we got the static file for the post detail. And there, in the end, I want to make sure that, since this is in the overall summary, in the summary, my link is styled differently. So it's in this section with ID summary. So I'll go to post detail CSS and make sure that in summary, maybe here below summary address, I style links in the summary and I make sure that the color there is still white and the text decoration is none. Now, with that, save this file, go back to your blog post, and there open up your developer tools, and then right-click on the refresh icon here in Chrome and click empty cache and hard reload to ensure that the latest version of the CSS file is pulled in, and now it's white again. You can, of course, style it differently to make it more obvious that it's a link. I just want to focus on how we get the actual email address in there. Because up to this point, that's not the case. Currently, I have test@test.com in there. But now we can use this interpolation syntax with the double opening and closing curly braces here inside of the value of this ref attribute, and then point at post.author.email_address, so at this email address field. That's what we can do with Django and its related models. It works just like this, as you learn it over the last course sections as well. So now with this, if I now reload this, it indeed, I can see it in the bottom left corner. It's very small, but you can see it. It indeed now points at the email address I set up for this author. So that works. Let's work on the tags now. And for the tags, I want to make sure that I output them below this h2 element here. So for this, let's try adding a div here. And here I'll add tags as a text. And if we now reload, we see tags here. So that's now where the tags should show up. And we can again work on styling later. Maybe we want to have them closer to the title, but again, styling is something we can do next. Of course, I don't want to have the hard-coded word tags here, but the actual tags of that post. And thankfully, again, it is straightforward to get access to them. We have access to the post, and of course, that post has tags. So what we can do here to loop through all the tags and render them, we can create a tag here in Django template syntax. So not related to our tags stored in the database. So this Django template language syntax, which is called tag, create a new tag here and create a for tag specifically, to then loop through all the tags in tags, to be precise in post.tags. Our post has a tags key because our model, our post model, has a tags field, which is this many-to-many field. So let's try looping through that. Let's also, of course, therefore end this for loop. And then in between, maybe just output a couple of spans where every span then at the moment just outputs the interpolated tag. To be precise, the tag.caption, because in our tag model, we do have that caption field, which holds the actual text. But outputting tag itself would also work because of this stir function which we added. But I'll output tag caption, save this, and reload, and it crashes. Now, why does this crash here? It crashes because a post does have tags, but what is this tags field again? Do you remember? It's not a list of tags. Instead, it is just an object that allows you to drill into the related model or run queries on the related model. So therefore, we can't use tags like this. It's not a list of tags, but we can get there. Back in our views in post detail, we could, for example, add a new variable to the template called tags or post_tags, whatever you want. And as a value, we can use our identified post here and then access tags. And on tags, we could now get all the tags related to this post. That is now something we could do. Now we are querying for all the related tags, all the tags assigned to this post. And it's now the post tags variable, which we can use in the template to loop through. So here I replace post.tags with my new post_tags variable. I still output tag caption because we are still querying for entries from the tags table, which are based on the tag model, which does have this caption field. So with that, if we save all of that, also the template, if I reload here, this works, and it's outputting featured and hot. Now, of course, to finish this up, we might want to work on the styling here. And for this, I'll just give this span a CSS class of tag, so that we can select it in our CSS file and apply styling. And I also want to give this title some styling again to remove the margin to the bottom. So in post details CSS, on the h2 tag here, I want to go to margin bottom and set this to 0.25 rem, which should be less than it's currently. And then at the bottom of this file, maybe I want to add this new tag class, which we added to the tag span. And there, give them a background color of, let's say, white, a text color of this purple color, which we're using. So let's say this purple color from the main navigation. Apply this as a text color for the tags. Give them some padding. So let's say 0.5 rem top and bottom, 1 rem left and right. We'll see if this works. And then also give them rounded corners, maybe. Like this. Save that. Open up the developer tools again to hard reload with a right click to load that latest file. And now we got these tags here. And that's looking quite okay, I would say. And therefore now we also use all that data in that block.